Alright, so in order to build a straw bale wall, you need to know exactly what your dimensions are. About 13 inches and about 18 inches. Now the first part of the house was built with them flat. The second part is with them on the side. So the bale spikes got to be at least 18 to get through this, and preferably 30 in order to punch 12 inches into the one below it. The idea is to lock them together. So this is a slash pile from when my wife and I made our house. We did post and beam, raw log construction, cut down with chainsaws. And when we cleaned off the trees, put all the branches in this pile, and we just let them mulch for a few years. So now it's really easy to come into this pile, grab a branch, and just zip all the little sub branches off of it and create a nice smooth stick. There's the stick pile I've been working on. We're sitting at 43 inches approximately for this one. You can see the sizes in this pile vary a little bit. Smallest is about 30, longest is about 48. The idea here is the longer ones will pin one bale, 18 inches in size, to the bale below it and the bale above it. And that will help lock the three bales together and stabilize the straw bale wall as you're building. Now the side benefit of this is that big old pile of slash there, notice how it's puffed up? That is the beginnings of your shrub barriers. When setting up your property, one of the things you want to keep in mind for your tree lines is access points. You can see here, created a path, cleared it up, made a shrub wall off to the side, made a shrub wall off to the side. Shrub wall. See how it creates that path move in that direction? Shrub wall creates that natural barrier. So what happens is you funnel wildlife through specific key points where you want to see them and want their movement, and or from a prepper or tactical perspective, you're funneling people through key points, because that is a pain to get through, and humans are predators and predators are lazy. They'll take the path of least resistance every day of the week. One simple tripwire there, or one simple camera there, and you can watch this access line for this whole tree from all the way down there, all the way back over here, because there's only a couple access points because I've created that brush barrier and makes it real easy to watch and monitor. Moving down over here, you can see the same thing. Got some brush piles. Blocking off and restricting access points. People aren't going to try and step over piles of stuff when there's a nice clean trail to move down. This is your ideal point for setting up perimeter alarms. Alright, so this is the part of the structure I'm currently working on. You can see the first floor is enclosed, second floor is not. So the bales are set on the sides. You can see the twine strings there. And what has happened is as I have set this bale on, I've spiked down through it and spiked into that one. And in the case of the particularly long spikes, gone all the way down into that layer as well. And that helps lock this running bond pattern together. You can see where seam, 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 how it's a running bond. Now that is just adobe and sand, and since there's straw in it, you technically call it cob. That's a surface kind of sealant on it. Helps prevent air infiltration movement through the straw bales. Later, once this is completed up, we'll come back and this whole area gets lime plastered. Here's a completed section of the house. You can see the lime plaster There's the stone stem wall coming up to it, and this is an ideal place for the show, because over here you can see where some of the lime plaster is flaked off. This is in need of repair. And this is a thinner area. At the time I was doing it, I was just running low on plaster, and it was a low priority area since it was almost horizontal. So yeah, that needs to be repaired, and that is thanks to chickens who were climbing all over it and pecking at it and busted it up. But you can see the lime plaster and stone stem wall along there. And those are straw bales that are underneath there. And this is inside. Raw log, post and beam. You can see it just kind of set in there. Runners. So the main rafters are the big boys. These are just secondary kind of mid supports. And the raw post and beam all connects together and rides across. You can see the kind of squared off nature of the straw bale. You can cut it and round it and flatten it, as you can see, like I did here, but I just chose to leave it there. We kind of like the undulations of it. But that's all straw bale that's behind there and under there, and this is how it all kind of ties together in the end. But these logs that you see across all of this and all of that leading up to the center there, all of that is where the branches came from that you saw me out there. These were all the trees that we cut down by chainsaw to form our house with, and this is where all of the sticks for that pile came from.